It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Tuesday, the 23rd of July. I'm Michael Groff. Another hot one out there today. Nothing record-breaking by any means, but we do have widely scattered showers and thunderstorms rumbling about the state. Will we see anything here in the lower deserts today? It sure looks like the chance of storms increases somewhat for the rest of the week around here, and maybe the possibility for a few strong and severe storms as well. What about the weather for the weekend? We'll talk about that and everything else as we dive on in. First, the almanac from yesterday, 111 degrees the afternoon high, 85 was the morning low, 106 and 85 are the averages, 118, the record high from last year. Oof. Looking outside right now, about 3 o'clock, hazy sunshine around, and yes, it's 111 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew point 58. 18% the humidity, wind light barometer falling. Checking the radar right now across the area, and we do have some scattered showers and storms over northern Arizona. A few storms elsewhere, but they're pretty far away from the valley. You have to go some distance to the south and west of us across western Pima County and bordering up against southwest Maricopa and over into the eastern mountains of the state. There's a little cell up there to the north, well to the north of us, but nothing immediately threatening Greater Phoenix right now. Some of those storms will be drifting southwestward as we go through the rest of the afternoon. And so, again, west central, northwest Arizona could see a few strong storms this afternoon. And here in the lower deserts, the chance of rain is not zero, but it's just not looking that favorable for a big storm event in here tonight. But obviously, we'll keep an eye on things. The upper air weather pattern across the nation just has not changed all that much. Good fetch of moisture there over the Gulf Coast and across the southeast U.S. Here in the southwest, we've got ridging that's sitting just to the north and west of us still, centered somewhere near Mesquite, Nevada, or just north of there. And so as a result, again, northeasterly wind flow aloft, and that's going to take storms off the mountains toward the lower deserts. I just think that the conditions here over south central Arizona, a little too stable, a little bit too much convective inhibition for a widespread event. The watch warning map, we've got heat advisories and excessive heat warnings, and they extend from the Las Vegas Valley in Southern California through the valleys of Central and Northern California, the Great Basin, the Pacific Northwest, and up into the Intermountain West, and even out into parts of western North Dakota. Yes, around Williston, Crosby. You could see high temperatures tomorrow up around 100 degrees there. It's going to be toasty. Now for Maricopa County, we have an air quality alert once again for elevated ozone. The convective outlook for today, the same areas really. Those marginal risks for severe storms, the middle Atlantic coast, a little sliver there in parts of the Midwest. And here in Arizona, once more, that level 1 out of 5 marginal risk of severe storms just to the northwest of us. Northwest Maricopa, parts of Yavapai, La Paz, and Mojave counties, and extending into parts of Inyo and Riverside counties in Southern California, and maybe even extreme southern Clark County in Nevada in that marginal risk zone. And any storms that get into there, the primary threat would be strong, damaging straight-line winds with the strongest storms. Now, again, for us, chance of storms not zero, but not going to concern ourselves today. Here's the day 2 outlook. This is tomorrow. The marginal risk shifts to the southeastern part of the state and infringing upon the East Valley. And tomorrow could certainly be more active, more storms over southeast Arizona. I think the atmosphere will really be in better shape tomorrow. We'll see more instability, again, especially over the southeastern third of Arizona, the eastern mountains as well. I think conditions will be favorable for some storms to get into the lower deserts. More on that in a moment. The precipitation outlook valid through Tuesday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix at or under 1/4 of an inch, but just to the north and east of us over the higher terrain, could see rain amounts 1 to 2 inches plus. And as we always tell you when showing you this graphic, your amount will vary. Obviously, during the monsoon, hey, just about anything is possible with any one storm. And so rain amounts can vary quite drastically. All right, let's get into the details of this forecast right now. To do that, we explore the models. Here we go, the GFS. This is the 12Z run, and it's valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Ridging continues to sit just to the west of us, a north-northeasterly flow aloft. And so what it means for the rest of the afternoon and this evening down at the surface, we will see Some increase in clouds in here this afternoon, partly cloudy. Widely scattered showers and thunderstorms will try to get into the lower deserts. Most of them probably don't make it here, but we'll keep that 20% chance of storms in the forecast. And for tonight, low temperatures should get down into the low 80s to low 90s. I mean, if you can call that getting down, barely cooling off into the low 90s. All right, tomorrow, I think a slightly better chance of showers and storms will be in place, a little bit more instability. The ridge is going to weaken ever so slightly. High temperatures are still going to be toasty, though, okay? Anywhere from about 108 to 112 for the afternoon high. Those scattered showers and storms will make their way toward the lower deserts. And the strongest storms capable of strong winds, blowing dust. There will be the potential of some brief heavy rain as well. And this is kind of going to be the pattern Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So whichever one of these days turns out to be more active, the next day probably won't be. I've been talking about Thursday potentially being the most active day. I could make the argument for any one of those days being more active, though. Thursday just looks better to me synoptically, but it's going to depend on those mesoscale features. We see slightly stronger winds aloft and slightly cooler air aloft, and so I think that might be the better day for showers and storms in here. But either way, that chance will be with us in the afternoon and evening hours on Thursday. High temperatures still pretty close to a couple of degrees either side of 110, and it's more or less the same story on Friday. As we go to the weekend, forecast confidence isn't great, but I do think some slightly drier air gets in here, and more of a southwesterly flow may briefly come on in and keep thunderstorm chances mainly confined to the higher terrain of eastern Arizona, the southeastern part of the state. I guess the chance of rain really isn't zero this weekend, but temperatures should head down a little bit too as the ridge has weakened. Highs probably under 110 finally, anywhere from about 104 to 109. Same story on Sunday. But by Monday, the ridge is starting to rebuild just to the east of us. But what's also happening is the GFS really is insistent on some type of inverted trough coming into the southwest and kind of getting stuck here. And should that happen, we would see an increase in the number of showers and storms again. And so it could be rather unsettled here starting on Monday. So we'll reintroduce the chance of storms. Not ready to go hog wild on the chances of rain just yet. Not going to totally buy into the GFS solution, but it has been rather consistently advertised. So we'll keep that in mind. Temperatures should still probably be around 104 to 108. Nothing really out of bounds for late July. Here's a week from today, Tuesday the 30th. And again, the GFS has some sort of inverted trough over the southwest. So active weather could be with us. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the afternoon and evening hours. We'll watch for that. And then going out 10 days. This is Thursday, the 1st of August in the ridge. 597 ridge. Building north of the state, though. And more of an easterly flow in here, east-southeasterly flow, so the moisture should continue. But with that 597 ridge, again, the air aloft might be a bit warmer. So even though we see a pretty good monsoon setup, thunderstorm chances could be somewhat muted. I still would expect to see some sort of low-grade monsoon forecast in effect, with at least widely scattered afternoon and evening showers and storms here in the lower deserts, more scattered storms in the higher terrain, if that indeed verifies. But temperatures would probably recover a bit back above 110 degrees. So the heat will continue. Look at a rainfall for Phoenix off the GFS ensemble through the 6th of August. And the ensemble mean is over a half an inch. The European ensemble has more of a spread now. How about this? Again, the mean is not that impressive, although it is coming up ever so slightly, but still under a quarter of an inch. But you got a spread here between some members that show nothing. You got one or two members that we got one member over 2 inches. So again, big spread, big uncertainty in the models going out through the next couple of weeks. Temperatures off the national blend of models are going to stay, for the most part, at or above normal through the next 10 days. So we'll finish out the month of July, probably, in all likelihood, as the second hottest July on record as it appears. David Parnell was asking what the mean temperature for the month of July has been, and so far it is 101.7. That's the mean temperature. And people go, well, I don't understand what that means, mean temperature. Now, so you take the high temperature for the month, the average high, and the average low, and you combine them, and that's how you get the mean, or the average temperature for the month. And I know that can be confusing sometimes. Math is hard. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. That's it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video, hopefully, back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, then be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell. Leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my one and only, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor, sweetchildaz.com.org, and the Facebook page of that same name, Sweet Child Arizona, talking about my Michelle. Check her out. Check out her blogs. Check out her videos. Check out everything that's Michelle related, linked up down in the description. And also our streaming station, available 24/7, 365. It is called KMGX. We play a ton of music and have a lot of fun with that, so give that a listen. And if you really like what we do here, you want to donate to us monetarily, you can click that thanks icon below the video and make that donation there, or directly to me via PayPal, groffshow@gmail.com. That's GROFF show@gmail.com via PayPal. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. All of your continued support, it is greatly appreciated. Please be safe, stay cool, stay hydrated out there, and have yourselves a beautiful rest of your Tuesday.